Hello YouTube, Mr. Pagan once again, and today I'm going to give you another brief story time of something that happened with me some 25 years ago. It's the tale of two sisters. So I met one lady, I'm just going to call her Kim. Must have been about 25 years ago. We was having a great time. We got real close with each other, and in the process of doing that, I was unaware that she had, any siblings whatsoever. And I thought it was kind of strange because I was on the way to meet her and pick her up and take her to the movies. But when I pulled into her complex, there was another young lady who flagged me down and she couldn't get into her mailbox. So we got to talking. I helped her get into her mailbox. One thing led to another. She gave me her phone number. Now, that should have been a red flag. How could I date two women that lived in the same apartment complex? But I decided, what the hell, I'm single, enjoy myself, And so the second lady, I'm calling her Lisa, the first one being Kim. I'm going out with Kim quite often. And Lisa and I started talking, getting to know each other back to back, whatever. And one thing led to another. I started going out with Lisa. So here I am juggling both of them. And I guess it didn't dawn on them as sisters, which I didn't know, to talk about the new guy that they met. And it came up, this went on for like 6 months. And they got closer to, they was getting ready to have their family reunion. And that's when they both started talking about who they was going to invite. Believe it or not, they both individually invited me, which I said no to both of them because there is nowhere in the world. And they got to talking about it. And that's when they realized they were talking about the same guy. And so when everything blew up and all the smoke cleared, they, for some strange reason, said, well, we're just friends. There's nothing that serious. They both agreed that they were just going to leave the other one. I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to leave him alone. But here's the thing. They both continue to call. So apparently Lisa and Kim never talked about me again to each other. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, well, man, I got it going on. I got two girlfriends in the same complex. Couldn't have life any better than that. And the way the subdivision was divided, they would never see my vehicle out there. One wouldn't see the other unless they just happen to pop up and visit. So that all worked out. So fast forward from June all the way to Christmas now. Now it's time to do the Christmas visits and all these things and all that stuff. So prior to that, it was right after Thanksgiving that I said, hey, I just got to stop doing this. I'm talking to myself. So I confided in both of them, told them the honest to God truth. And so that kind of ruined things for my Christmas holiday, because here I am thinking, man, I know I'm going to get some great gifts and all these things. But all in all, the sisters, they seemed to held their own. They didn't really go at it because it really wasn't their fault. Why? I don't understand why with two women that don't know that they're sharing the same guy, and then when they find out, why the two women would fight each other anyway. Now, I can understand if I was married to one and I'm cheating and got a side piece. I can understand maybe they still shouldn't fight, but I can understand the anger in that. But when you don't know about it, I don't think there should be a whole lot of back and forth arguments and things of that nature. So once I finally left them alone, I left it completely alone. And it was like, as I started getting older, I just kept running into these strange situations, and right after that, so I met another young lady, and that's when I got married. But we'll talk about that another time. Because that's going to take a whole lot of effort, because she was way out there. She was way out there. But anyway, we all got a little bit of crazy in us, but her level of crazy was something totally different. And it's a long story time. Trust me. I was watching somebody's channel today, and she was going on and on about women dating these no good men and how quick these men can move in and things of that nature. And there's like the parallel that to one of the guys that I watch his channel all the time. And he dubbed these guys as hobosexuals. When it gets cold, these guys go out here and try to get with anybody. They don't care if they're with a woman or a man. They just want to sleep somewhat comfortable to sleep. But anyway, the lady kept going on, and it got to the point where I thought she was male bashing, but she had some strong points when she talked about how these men were no good. And if a woman is making $80,000 and this man is making $15,000, they shouldn't even be together. I wouldn't base money on a relationship, because on the same side, if I'm making $150,000 a year, what I look like if I meet a woman that's part-time manager at a fast food joint, that she's probably making $35,000. But we don't know each other's backstory yet. She could be in college. still. You know, she could be going back to become a general manager. I don't know. I don't know how that level of promotion works. But the young lady, she proceeded just kept talking about it and how these men ain't no good. And, you know, first they bring a shoe over, then they bring a toothbrush and all these things. Well, let me tell you, I've had that with women that tried to move in. You know, they'll start with little things. You know, just the fact that I stay by myself and I got an empty room don't mean that you can turn that closet into your own personal stash house. You know, I don't believe in that, you know, especially when you're coming over and these ladies will come over and make themselves at home, rightfully so. But when I've dated women that as soon as they open their purse, it's like it's an explosion. Everything goes everywhere. So I'm sitting here looking at, oh, damn, she needs to clean up. You know, this is not her spot, you know. And there's one lady in particular that I was dating. I mean, her car was so cluttered with stuff that every time she would pick me up, I have to wait for her to clean off the passenger seat. And it just goes right all the way in the back. It was just filthy. And I know men do it too. And so basically what I'm saying, that thing goes across the board. You know, men do it, women do it. I'm going to have some across the board conversations about how trifling us men can be. You know, I have male friends, so I know how nasty and unkept they are when it comes to certain things. And I'm surprised that when I meet some of their girlfriends, how they even put up with that. Or if I was that way and I met a woman and if she was a cluttering and nasty, house is unkept, I wouldn't even want to date her because I'm looking at her as how clean could she really be if she's living like this? You know, I don't know how somebody can be that comfortable. And a lot of times these psychiatrists and psychologists or whatever you want to call them, these life coaches say they can have some deep-seated issues and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Well, we all got issues, but it's all about how you carry yourself. I myself don't want to be a slouch. I don't want to have to depend on anybody. I'm not looking for a woman to take care of me. But here's the thing. If we are together and I should get sick, I do expect that lady to step up and take care of me. I've had situations with the flu or whatever else I had to get up and go get my own medication. And I got a full-time live-in right here next to me. Now that right there, once that started happening, you start engaging your relationship with a person more and more. And it forced me to start looking at things even under a microscope as to what everything that she was doing that was not satisfactory. So when we're dealing with people in these relationships, we have to be careful what we get into. But, you know, me being that caring person thinking, OK, it's going to work. I'm going to ride it out. It's going to fix itself. It never would fix itself. You know, it went on year after year after year. Yes, you can be in a relationship. You have those good moments. The good moments would be, and in this order, her birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know, she would want to go all out for her birthday because it's all about her, rightfully so. Thanksgiving, yeah, you would cook, blah, blah, blah. Christmas. Now, when it comes to me, when I do Christmas, I try to spend that entire year prior learning the person. So when it comes time for holiday, I pretty much know what to get somebody without asking them because I would like the element of surprise. And I wasn't basing it on money value, but I went all out several times in relationships. And I'm here to tell you right now, nobody bet not get me another pair of socks or a belt. Those are things I can pick up tomorrow when I go to Walmart, you know. And I felt like when men are constantly getting these same old basic gifts for their birthday or just because or for Christmas, belts, socks, some boxers, that woman is not putting a lot of thought into their spouse. Mainly because she never taken the time to really learn him, you know. And I know I have a lot of lady friends, platonic, and they tell me all the time, well, their man don't listen. Well, he don't listen. He don't want to talk. He don't want to have a talk, these things. But that's where us as mature people, we have to insist that person communicate. You know, I went through that. You know, I can come home happy to see somebody gung ho. And yes, they can snap the air out of you just like that. And what does that do? The next day, I don't want to say nothing. Now it goes into day 3. And now, oh, wow, you're not speaking to me? Well, I don't know your attitude today. And when you start sending these mixed signals, number one, that person you're involved with has already checked out. That's why you're getting these mixed signals. You know, if things is not working out for Jody, then she'll treat you right. Or for Judy, then he'll treat you right. So you guys got to understand something. Yeah, people still doing that. People still playing the field, been in relationships. And, you know, once I found out or once they supposedly confronted it, I said, well, hell, okay, fine. Do what you do. But this is going to change the dynamics of this relationship. And trust me, when I get into that deep dive, it's going to really shock a lot of you. I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, but people have to be careful because there's a lot of things with us as human beings that somebody might take as a put down would very well excite us, if you follow what I'm saying. You know, it's certain things about what people do and people say that excite me. You know, I'm the type, if I send you a message letting you know I'm thinking about you, and if my message get a little dirty and I'm texting somebody a little bit of a dirty message and they reply to me with emojis and all this stuff, to me, that person's not mature enough to receive my message because it's coming straight from me. It's not generated through AI or through all these cell phones and things of that nature. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm still that old school person where you have to reciprocate. You don't have to say exactly what I say, but what's wrong with getting up early in the morning and you just made it to work and your spouse is still at home and you're thinking about them, sending them a good message, just a brief message, let them know you was thinking about them. You know, let's not keep taking each other for granted. You know, that's what a lot of us tend to do. And I've seen now that with a lot of these different groups on other platforms, and I'm not going to name them because I'm not promoting anybody, the single 50 and over, they all seem to have pretty much the same type of story to tell when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know, so back to my original point, how the lady got on her page, and she can do whatever she want to do. She can stand on her head and eat potatoes. I don't care what she does, but the way it went downhill with the male bashing, and I really think that's what it was. I didn't unsubscribe to her page, and she was just on one that day. You know, we all got some stuff. You know, I can sit on here and talk about, you know, a woman that don't bathe, you know, but I'm not. It was a personal issue that might have been something deep-seated going on in her life. So we all have our personal thoughts on people, personal thoughts on work. You know, am I going to say I love my job? No, I love when I get to leave. Absolutely. I don't hate my job, but, you know, it's work. That was a post somebody did, and it was titled, I don't give AF anymore. I thought about making one of those posts, and it was based about things you really don't care about no more. And I have a laundry list of things that don't bother me. You know, the only few things that really bother me is disrespectful people, a-holes, the others that still think they're better than us, you know, and to this day, I've had some other people come at me sideways, but I quickly corrected that. And, you know, it's just certain things. And then once you let that person know where you stand, that's when you just pull back and leave them alone. And I found this to be true, especially like in the workforce. For some reason, Black people don't tend to stick together on the workforce. You may have 3 or 4 over here, 3 or 4 over there, 3 or 4 over there, but they seem to have their own little clique to where they don't understand their strength and safety in numbers. Why can't we all just come together and filter through some things? Because somebody within our race may be going through something. We don't know what that person's going through because we don't even try to talk to them, you know, but we too busy trying to buddy up to the others. You know, and I'm not really going to get into that, but one thing I'll never be is that, and this used to be like this on TV, there was always that one Black guy that was friends with the whole white crew. I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to be the favorite. You know, I'm going to be me. I can respect you. We can have conversations. Do I have white associates? Yes, I do. So it's not even about that. It's about how they still try to say things to where they think even to this day we're too stupid to understand. And the same goes to where we are within our own race. Just because I am Black and I am country Black, Southern Black, deep rooted in the South, which is Georgia. And then I meet people of a darker race that's from maybe somewhere in Africa. And they say things racially out in the open, but directed towards me. And I had that situation to happen. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, does he really not understand that to the other races, we're all the same over here? But see, a lot of times they don't understand that. And we have people that deal with their own color identities and all these things. And, you know, when I leave out of my home and I go somewhere and I greet people, I still open the door for people. If I'm going into a store and I need to help a lady open the door or whatever, I hold the door open, whether they say thank you or not, but you go right ahead. You know, that's just something that's instilled in me. That's just what I do. You know, if I see a lady with some crying babies behind me in the grocery store and I'm next in line, oh, you can go ahead, because I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm tired of hearing them carrying cry. The sooner you get out the store, the sooner everybody can be at peace. But she's got a lot to deal with. She's got a grocery bag full of, buggy full of stuff, 2 or 3 kids, and they all crying, and she's trying to make a home. There's no telling what situation she's going through. There's 3 little ones and there's 1 woman. So men, when you see that situation, sometimes just moving to the side and allowing that lady to push forward is all the help she needs. You know, don't get mad because you speak and she don't speak to you, but she's not interested, you know. Namely because she probably just got off work. She probably just got them kids out of daycare. And here you are trying to holler at her. Now, if you say hello and she say hello back and she starts a conversation, that's one thing. But, you know, I witnessed this guy call this woman all kind of bad names because she was giving him the cold shoulder in the same type of situation. Well, she had 2 young kids, but they wasn't little, you know, 9, 10, whatever. But you could tell it was obvious that she was not interested. Why this guy decided to just cut her deep. And I'm sitting there looking at her and I was like, dude, is that really necessary? You know what I'm saying? Man, F this and F that. And I was like, hey, I'm done with it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Stop going out here in these streets with your intent to hurt somebody. Some people wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I have actually gone to work and told my boss, it's not a good day for me. So unless you need me, don't send nobody over here to bother me today, because I know when my day is not at 100% and all I want to do is do my job. We all have that. You know, if you don't wish to be bothered sometimes, you just tell the person you don't wish to be bothered. You know, the same goes for phone calls and long conversations. I can't talk to anybody, even in a serious relationship. If I'm not living with her and I have to see her every day, I don't think I have to talk to you 4 or 5 times a day to where we're not talking about anything. How many days a week you gonna ask me, what did I eat for dinner? I'm gonna ask you what you ate for dinner. You're gonna ask me if I iron. Yes, I'm pressing my clothes for the next 2 days. I still can't believe you a man, why you ironing? That kind of stuff. Well, guess what? Men do take care of themselves. We aren't all slouches and trying to be a couch potato and things of that nature. I would like to say that I take good care of myself. And I know a lot of young ladies that do the same, you know, and you want to meet. To me, when it comes to dating, that's where I would like to be, somebody that's my equal as far as how we keep our home, how we take care of ourselves, how current we are with paying bills. Yes, it's tough out there. It's tough out there for everybody, but there's no reason I should come home and there was a gas bill that was $13 and I come home, the gas was shut off. When money's in the bank, you have dedicated this time. Okay, well, you can handle the bills. Okay, fine. But gas will be shut off. Next month, the water will be shut off. So what did I have to do? I had to take over full control of taking care of the bills, because I can't understand why am I coming home and we don't have water. You know, things of that nature. And this was way before you can just pay it. They get somebody right out there. It used to take a day or 2 in some cases. So I completely took that over. But now here I am saying to myself, why do I have this person under the roof with me that I have taken every responsibility and put it on myself? So all that person has to do is come home, sleep, eat, crap, and bathe. That's all they had to do. And that's when I started realizing this thing is on its way out. No matter what, when birthdays came around, the holiday came around, I was still the same person, still being cordial with her. But you have to remember that when you start numbering your days, there's really not a whole lot you can do to fix that, and it's like with now, I love my free time. I love my privacy. I love to be able to come home and it's peaceful here. I absolutely love that. And reaching out to the YouTube community, and I'm starting to make new friends. And I found out a couple of my other friends have channels, and they've given me some kind of small pointers. But my thing is, I'm not trying to, how do they say, get to the bag overnight. I just want to get on here and start talking and develop different things and look for different genres and things that other people are dealing with or going through, and hearing other people's stories. And that's my whole point. Now, when it gets to being monetized, and whether it's $2 or $2,000 or $20,000, I'm going to be the same person. My only desire right now is to eventually get to where I finally buy my RV or my travel trailer. Nothing else is going on right now to where I'm stressing over it, anything like that. I was telling a friend one day, we was hanging out, he was going through all his problems. I said, man, you know what? The only thing I'm concerned with right now is making it home safe from this bar and whether or not I want to go to work tomorrow. I say I cleaned my plate of all that same stuff you're talking about. You're gonna have to clean your plate. You have to clean your plate from some of your friends and even your family in order for you to grow. And if you really sat down after watching this video or really think about some of the people that are in your life that means you no good, you would understand what I'm talking about. Try to stay positive, try to stay uplifted. When your day-to-day life, try to do your best. Now, you're going to have people that's going to try you, people that's going to try all this different stuff. I have tried my best, but sometimes that one person will get under your skin, and then the hood has to come out of me. That's just part of who I am. That's part of who we are. You can only push a person so far. But anyway, once again, I'm going to ask everybody to please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Once again, it's Mr. Pagan, and I hope everybody have a happy and safe holiday weekend, which, by the way, if you don't understand, it's King weekend. So some people don't even know. So if you don't know who King is, Google Dr. Martin Luther King. That's all you got to do. You Google it. Ask Siri, ask whoever else you're talking to on your phone, who is Dr. Martin Luther King? Because a lot of people don't even know. And I'm going to get on that story also. Working for a private company and being affiliated with this company for eons and millions of years, not once have they ever acknowledged Dr. King holiday or Black History Month. But they'll email and decorate for everything else. I find that to be quite strange. But if you guys have noticed the same thing at your job, your corporation or whatever, reach out and let me know. Because how can we celebrate all these holidays and all these government officials' birthdays, but we can't celebrate, at least send an email and say something in reference to Dr. King? So Monday, I think I'm about ready to finally do that after so many years, or at least acknowledge, the start of Black History Month next month, because at some point it's got to be done. So I think, acknowledgement is power. People need to understand that, us in the older generation, we still remember the stories that our parents told and grandparents told. So that stuff is still true in corporate America now, but they've whitewashed it with pen and paper. So everybody, you need to be careful with that also. You don't have to be friends with everybody, black, white, Indian, whatever. But when it comes to doing your job, just get your job done. Leave all the other stuff at the door, because what we don't want to do is mess around and lose our job messing with Karen, if you know what I'm talking about, because they're going to keep Karen. So let's just all be real about how society still works. And I hope nobody's have had to experience that here recently, but just be mindful that it's happening. And when one of your friends come to you and confide in you about some things on his or her job or personal life, sometimes we just have to be quiet and just listen. I used to be so quick to jump into the conversation and take it over. I'm learning to just be quiet Because sometimes they just need to get something off their chest. And if you just be quiet and listen and agree, disagree, whatever we got to do here and there, drop in something, let that person get it off their chest. Because once you blow it out, you lessen the risk of blowing up on your job. I really believe that. So be that listening ear to a good friend sometimes, or even to a stranger, you know. And I think that has become helpful for a lot of people. You know, whether you want to be a counselor or whatever, you know. And yeah, in a future date, I want to talk about the so-called counselor that wanted to, well, we was dating and I told her, you don't want to get in my dark side. You don't want me to be on your couch. And that's going to be a pretty funny story, I think, also, about how she told me to stop sharing. But I thought this is what you do every day, you know, and I was only giving her my real truth, my real truth. So the whole thing, when these people are out here saying now in the dating world, full transparency, be careful what you ask for, because you don't really want us to be that transparent unless you're coming with that same energy and you got that same level of the dark side in you, of the past, the wild past, and all these other things. You have to be mindful of what people, we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. What may seem wild to you may seem average to me. So when you're asking for full transparency, be careful. And guys, just because a woman say be fully transparent, you don't have to go from 0 to 100. Just push to the edge a little bit and pull back. You know, test the waters, because maybe she don't really know your level of transparency, or he may not know your level of transparency. So with that being said, you know, ladies and gentlemen, just be careful, be mindful of the people you're dealing with. Always making new friends. Always, you know, stay joyful, stay cheerful, enjoy each other's company while you can. And don't forget, you know, you can't be for everybody. I'm not for everybody. Some people will like my page. Some people will not like my page. But either way, I welcome all comments, because that's the only way we're going to grow. Why are we sitting around with locked lips and locked in thoughts to where we can't project your views to me? Because I want to know. And we may end up going back and forth in some banter between messages, but it's not going to last all day. It's not going to last 2 days. You say your part, I say my part. We can go back and forth for a little while, because after a while, we'll probably both end up laughing about the whole situation, because sometimes these people that are on here, these online bullies, that's all they know how to be. You know, say your piece and move on. Go play with somebody else. You know, that's the way I view it. I wouldn't allow what somebody say to me online to dampen my day. So anyway, enough of me ranting and raving. I'm gonna sit over here and enjoy my grape juice while I figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner today. And once again, it's Mr. Pagan, and I want to ask that each and every one of you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Well, at least subscribe. I'm trying to get some subscribers. Y'all know how this thing works. So subscribe, give it a try, you know, and as I see people popping in and leaving me messages and subscribing, I am subscribing back to them. You know, that's the only way I know. If I don't know you, I don't know. So that's how this thing works. If you're seeing me and you in Atlanta, or you way over in Japan or wherever, and if you want to subscribe, I welcome you, and I'm going to reciprocate. That's how it works, people. It's the way it's based. You know, for the millions of people that don't want to deal with that person over there for whatever reason, that's fine. There's enough out here on YouTube that's for everybody. There's enough money to be made for those that are going to turn this into their primary way of income. But even at that, if this does become your primary way of source of income, keep in mind, YouTube can be plugged at any time, just like any other social media page. So while we're stacking up all this money, don't forget to save. That's my point. I'm not bashing YouTube. I'm just saying, don't forget to save. Save some of your money. Put it away. You know, don't be so quick to blow it. And the reason why I say this, because I used to be like that. I used to just blow it. I was just like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. But now, the last 10, 15 years, I've been pulling back on some of the things I used to do, because I would get to the end of the month and I would look at my receipts just on going out alone. I was for 1 month, I know I had spent at least $450 just by going out alone. Just on entertainment. And that's ridiculous. When the majority of it was drinks and food, just hanging out, $450 in 1 month because the money was there, you know. But now, you know, I've pulled back from doing all that because I don't hang out as much. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, just, you know, and others, just be mindful of we're here to make it. It's never too late to save a little bit. Just save a little bit. You'll be surprised how quickly it could build up. You know, I'm not a financial guru or anything like that. I can't help you with your stock portfolio and all those things. But just keep in mind that we're all gonna get old. We're all gonna come to that point where we may need to lean on that $500 or that $5 or that $20 or that $30,000 that's in your savings account. So just keep that in mind because you may not always have the insurance that you have right now. So with that being said, I hope everybody have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. Once again, it's Mr. Pagan. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.